The Exit Control List (ECL) of Pakistan is a critical instrument employed by the government to restrict the movement of individuals deemed to be a threat to national security or involved in serious criminal activities. However, numerous misconceptions surround the ECL, leading to confusion and misinterpretation of its application and implications. This article aims to address and clarify these common misconceptions. 1. The ECL can be used arbitrarily. One of the most pervasive misconceptions is that the government can arbitrarily place individuals on the ECL without any substantial justification. In reality, the process is regulated by the Exit from Pakistan Control Ordinance 1981 and subsequent amendments. Specific criteria must be met before an individual's name can be added to the ECL. These criteria include involvement in corruption or misuse of power, human trafficking, terrorism, or any other activity posing a threat to national security. Furthermore, the decision to place a name on the ECL is subject to judicial review, ensuring a check against arbitrary use. 2. Inclusion on the ECL is permanent. Another common misconception is that once a person's name is on the ECL, it is a permanent status. The ECL mechanism is designed to be temporary and case-specific. Individuals or their legal representatives can petition the Ministry of Interior for the removal of their name from the ECL, particularly if the reasons for their inclusion no longer exist, or if they can provide substantial evidence to refute the grounds of their inclusion. Judicial oversight further ensures that names are not retained on the ECL without ongoing justification. 3. ECL only applies to high-profile individuals. Many believe that the ECL is only used against high-profile individuals, such as politicians, businessmen, or influential figures. While these cases often gain media attention, the ECL can be applied to any individual who meets the criteria set forth by the relevant laws and regulations. This includes individuals involved in criminal activities, tax evasion, or those posing a threat to national security, regardless of their public profile or social standing. 4. Being on the ECL means being guilty. There is a misconception that inclusion on the ECL is tantamount to a declaration of guilt. However, being placed on the ECL is a preventive measure rather than a punitive one. It is intended to ensure that individuals under investigation or trial cannot leave the country to evade legal proceedings. Inclusion on the ECL does not equate to a judicial determination of guilt, and individuals are entitled to a fair trial and due process. 5. The ECL process lacks transparency. Critics often argue that the process of placing names on the ECL is shrouded in secrecy and lacks transparency. While it is true that the specifics of certain cases may not be publicly disclosed to protect ongoing investigations, the overall process is governed by established legal frameworks. Individuals have the right to be informed of the reasons for their inclusion and can challenge their placement in court. The judicial oversight provides a layer of transparency and accountability. 6. ECL prevents all forms of travel. Another misconception is that the ECL completely bars individuals from traveling under all circumstances. In some cases, the government may grant temporary permissions or one-time permissions for travel for specific purposes such as medical treatment, attending important family events, or professional obligations, provided that sufficient guarantees are given that the individual will return to Pakistan to face legal proceedings. 7. No recourse for removal from the ECL. Many believe that there is no effective recourse for individuals seeking removal from the ECL. In practice, individuals have multiple avenues to contest their inclusion. They can file a representation with the Ministry of Interior or approach the courts for relief. The courts have, on numerous occasions, ordered the removal of individuals from the ECL where the inclusion was found to be unjustified or unlawful. Conclusion: the Exit Control List, ECL, is a significant tool in Pakistan's legal and national security apparatus, but it is often misunderstood. Addressing these misconceptions is essential to foster a clearer understanding of its purpose, application, and the legal safeguards in place to prevent misuse. It is crucial for individuals and legal practitioners to be aware of the rights and procedures associated with the ECL to ensure its fair and just implementation.